they ink dries on the new CBA by early February. So let's say they have a deal done by the 1st of February. We still got an additional 30 plus days to do free agency, right? Now, this article is coming out right here, man. And it stated WNBA could be weeks away from delaying the season. So we know them schedules came out, dog. Them schedules.
Significant news has surfaced regarding the WNBA's off-season calendar, creating ripples throughout the basketball community. Amy Costabile from Front Office Sports has unveiled critical information about the anticipated commencement of free agency, addressing what has become the dominant narrative surrounding the upcoming campaign. Player destinations have dominated off-season chatter, yet those conversations remain purely speculative without a completed collective bargaining agreement in place. Costabile's recent publication delivers eye-opening revelations about the league's current predicament and projected timeline. League insiders speaking with Front Office Sports have indicated that the most favorable outcome would see free agency launching sometime in early March. This optimistic scenario hinges entirely on completing CBA negotiations by early February.
Schedules came out, dog. Them schedules came out yesterday. Everybody got their schedules. Now, my personal opinion, I still don't believe it's going to be a lockout. I just cold-heartedly do not believe that. I believe that they're deal done, but I could be wrong. See, I'm afraid to admit, hey, y'all, I could be wrong. Now, with that being said, the article goes on to say that the WNBA wants everyone to believe the 2026 season will tip off on May the 8th. Now, May the 8th.
Assuming a finalized agreement emerges by the first day of February, organizations would still face more than 30 additional days before roster construction could officially begin. Costabile's reporting also suggests potential delays to the regular season's launch could materialize within weeks. The league recently distributed game schedules to all franchises, providing each organization with their complete matchup listings. Despite this official schedule release, skepticism exists about whether a work stoppage will materialize. Some observers maintain confidence that negotiations will ultimately succeed, though conceding uncertainty remains appropriate. League officials continue projecting May 8th as the campaign's opening date.
Believe the 2026 season will tip off on May the 8th. Now, May the 8th is when the date's supposed to start. Now, I'm going to tell you, if free agency started in March, the season is not going to start May 8th. So that right there tells me ain't no ifs, ands, ain't no buts. The season ain't going to start in May. Because we still got to do free agency. Then we also got to remember there's a thing called training camp. Every team.
That specific target represents the WNBA's publicly stated intention for beginning competitive play. However, mathematical realities challenge this projection's feasibility. Should free agency not commence until March, expecting teams to be competition ready by early May stretches credibility beyond reasonable limits. Multiple factors complicate this compressed timeline. Free agency alone demands considerable duration for negotiations, contract discussions, and player signings to reach completion. Beyond that, training camps serve as indispensable preparatory phases where organizations condition athletes, implement strategic systems on both ends of the floor, and execute all necessary groundwork before actual games commence.
Then we also got to remember there's a thing called training camp. Every team got to have training camp, bro, to prepare for the season. That's weight room, that's running the offense, defense that you're going to run. That's pretty much all the essential things you need to get ready for the 2026 season. Now, as of Friday, right, the Players Union was still waiting on a response from the league to propose to the proposal that they sent over a month ago. Now, multiple sources told Fernando.
By late last week, the Players Association continued awaiting the league's counter-response to a comprehensive proposal submitted more than 30 days prior. Various sources have verified the association's pursuit of a 30% portion of total league revenue combined with a salary cap position near $10 million. These particular details have surfaced repeatedly throughout recent coverage, with media outlets frequently presenting virtually identical reporting every several days. Proposed Supermax contracts would reach $249,000 under these terms, while entry-level salaries would begin at $66,000. These numbers have circulated widely across multiple reports already. Examining specific franchise schedules reveals the Las Vegas Aces are presently penciled in to host their inaugural contest versus the Phoenix Mercury on May 8th, followed by a 4-game stretch away from home.
To the proposal that they sent over a month ago. Now, multiple sources told Front Office Sport that the proposal the union is seeking a 30% share of the league gross revenue and a salary cap around $10 million, man. Everybody keep reporting. We already know this part, bro. Like, all they doing is copying and pasting the same articles, bro, every couple of days, man. Now, the Supermax will go up to $249. The minimum was $66,000. That's all. It's all the same stuff. Now, it goes on to say, somebody better start talking right now before.
Earlier coverage emphasized how Indiana's calendar appeared especially grueling, but closer inspection shows numerous organizations confronting similarly demanding sequences. While Caitlin Clark and the Fever face more consecutive contests than any other squad, additional high-profile franchises including the Aces and Liberty also navigate extensive away stretches, presumably due to their elevated popularity and drawing power. The Los Angeles Sparks hold the distinction of playing the season's initial back-to-back games during opening weekend on May 10th. The initial CBA negotiation deadline expired on January 9th without resolution, representing the second postponement beyond the original bargaining window. Currently, no accord exists for a third extension period. The Players Association has suggested removing certain contract limitations, though the league hasn't demonstrated receptiveness toward these recommendations.
Goes on to say, somebody better start talking right now before I start screaming. Wilson, Las Vegas Aces are currently scheduled to start the 2026 season at home with the final rematch against the Phoenix Mercury on May the 8th before embarking on a 4-game road trip. So now I know we made a video yesterday about the Fever and stuff like that being targeted, but to me, it looked like a lot of these teams. Now no one's playing more back-to-backs. Caitlin Clark and the Fever. I just got to be honest there. But
multiple sources consistently characterize early March as the most realistic launching point for free agency, dependent upon CBA completion by early February. Such an arrangement would allocate the balance of February for organizing and executing an expansion draft process. Under normal circumstances, free agency commences in early January, with significant signings typically concluded by early February. Transporting that conventional framework into present conditions suggests an early March beginning would furnish teams adequate opportunity to assemble rosters before training facilities open on April 19th. Whether that window provides sufficient time remains debatable. Effectively, the outlined strategy condenses free agency operations into March's 31 days while simultaneously managing the expansion draft and lottery processes, expecting all squads to arrive for conditioning programs by April 19th.
Fever, I just got to be honest there. But the Aces, the Fever, and the Liberty will have road trips. I think they will have road trips just on the strength of them being the most popular teams. Now, the first back-to-back of the season is opening weekend when the Los Angeles Sparks play on May 10th, and they left the series.
This blueprint represents the working framework assuming February finalization of labor negotiations. Additional complications emerge from the 2026 WNBA draft's current placement on April 13th, positioning it directly within free agency's anticipated window. Team executives would simultaneously balance roster assembly through veteran signings while preparing evaluations of collegiate prospects entering the professional ranks.
And they left the series. I don't know what that is. Let's read the second paragraph. It says the second extension of the original 31 CBA deadline on January 9th, with no deal reached no agreement to a third negotiation or third extension. Man, where the part at about free agency, bro? Because I'm tired of reading all the same stuff. All these articles be all the same stuff. Now, it's stated the union is proposing eliminating the destination, although
A delay spanning 2 to 3 weeks seems more plausible, assuming CBA completion by February's opening. Accelerating through these essential processes seldom yields positive outcomes. Hurried preparations frequently produce complications, potentially manufacturing a turbulent season beginning characterized by players uncertain of their assignments, teams missing cohesion, and rosters still evolving. Contemplate the logistical challenges. Newly acquired players joining organizations would possess approximately 3 weeks for integration with established teammates. Conditioning programs would overlap with draft evaluations. Subsequently, additional rookies join immediately following the draft.
Their most important, impactful player. So she's obviously out. They're down 20 at halftime. They're down 20 at halftime. Like, it's awful. Like, that is genuinely horrendous. And I get it. Arike's hooping. Stewie's been very good in Arrival this year. The Mist have been much better, even though on paper, they have Alicia Gray this year. Burton's been good. But if you look at the rows, yeah, Copper's got 16. But all that's happened is Chelsea Gray's points have gone down.
This abbreviated timeline threatens significant dysfunction. Constable's article stresses that both negotiating entities have pledged commitment toward ensuring the league's 30th anniversary season proceeds as envisioned. Sources acquainted with ownership perspectives consistently report zero appetite for initiating a lockout. The Players Association authorized strike measures in December, though framed that authorization as preventative rather than representative of genuine intentions. The entire landscape surrounding potential postponements and collective bargaining continues generating substantial discussion. The foremost anxiety revolves around how free agency mechanics will operate and whether the league can realistically preserve its desired schedule given remaining hurdles.
But all that's happened is Chelsea Gray's points have gone down. Chelsea Gray and Copper have one ball. Lexi Hull's points didn't really matter. Yeah, Azare with 0 today. Shug Sutton struggling. But on the year, Lexi Hull has literally been one of the most impactful players. If you look at her plus minus, you can't see it. But they lost to the Laces a few days ago. And the best player on the floor was Lexi Hull.
Upcoming weeks should illuminate whether these ambitious projections prove attainable or if modifications become essential to guarantee adequate preparation for all stakeholders involved. Lexi Hull participates in professional basketball for both the Indiana Fever and Rose squad within unrivaled competition. Her performance during the current unrivaled campaign has been remarkable, representing a significant improvement over last season's mediocre contributions. Given Rose's particular circumstances this year, Hull's play has stood out impressively. However, she remains unavailable for today's matchup. An interesting paradox exists around the common belief that basketball success relies entirely on star-level talent.
The best player on the floor was Lexi Hull. She was plus 8. She was just causing havoc. She was causing havoc. She was getting steals. She was getting rebounds. She was, like, not really hitting shots. But ideally you want her hitting shots, but she wasn't really doing that. But she was causing havoc in every other way on the floor. I thought she was exceptional. I thought she was genuinely exceptional in the last game. And the game before was the first game they lost. And obviously to go...
Contrary to this assumption, swapping Hull with Kalia Copper, a player various media members suggest the Fever should acquire to replace Kelsey Mitchell, has transformed Rose from unbeaten to struggling dramatically. Since removing Hull from the starting rotation, Rose appears destined for a 3-game losing streak. Beyond this concerning trend, their previous contest demonstrated Hull serving as overwhelmingly their most valuable contributor. With her sidelined currently, the squad trails by 20 points at intermission. Such a deficit appears truly catastrophic. While acknowledging Brianna Stewart's excellent unrivaled campaign and the Mist's enhanced performance, alongside Courtney Williams and Brianna Jones producing solid results, examining Rose reveals troubling developments.
And the game before was the first game they lost. And obviously to go 3-0 on the year with Lexi Hull playing 16.3, 18, 11.8, 12.6, suddenly she's down to 8 minutes a game and they get destroyed. They get absolutely destroyed. And, like, I don't know what's going to happen in the second half. I'm kind of done watching. In fairness, like, Arike did get magnet ball. Like, and that's the one thing about this 3-on-3 is that you can lose to anybody if they shoot 60% from the field and 60% from 3. Like, if they shoot 60% from 3, you can lose to literally anybody in this league. So it's not like it's like an impossibility. It's not like
Though Copper has accumulated 16 points, Chelsea Gray's scoring output has correspondingly decreased. Gray and Copper essentially compete for the same offensive possessions. Hull's point production held minimal significance previously. Arike Ogunbowale registered 0 points today while Shu continues struggling, yet throughout the season, Hull has genuinely ranked among the competition's most impactful contributors. Her plus-minus statistics, though not visible here, tell a compelling story.
It's not like it's an impossibility to lose to pretty much anyone, and especially, again, when Arike has, for lack of a better way of describing it, magnet ball. Like we all saw in the All-Star break, when Arike does Arike things, again, the phrase Arike doing Arike things, depending on the game, is either a great thing or a bad thing. Like she's either the best player on the floor or the worst player on the floor. There's never really an in-between with Arike. That being said, like, this team...
They suffered defeat to Laces recently. Hull emerged as the outstanding performer in that contest. Recording a +8 rating, she generated disruption constantly through defensive activity. She accumulated steals and rebounds despite struggling with shot accuracy. Ideally, shooting efficiency would accompany her other contributions, though that element was absent.
This team, by replacing Lexi Hull, a role player, with a star in Clea Copper, have objectively gotten worse. Like Chelsea Gray's, the shots she's putting up, like, again, you're looking at her shots. She did have 36 in a loss against the Hive. Was it a win? Was it a win against the Hive? In a win. Or was that a loss? I think that was a loss. Kelsey Mitchell scored. Lexi Hull was on the bench for that last play. But 6 of 16, 4 of 11.
Nevertheless, she created chaos across all other performance aspects. Her display appeared genuinely remarkable in that previous matchup. The contest before represented their initial defeat, following a 3-0 start featuring Hull playing 16.3, 18, 11.8, and 12.6 minutes respectively. Suddenly limited to 8-minute rotations, they faced consecutive demolitions. These losses were absolute blowouts.
4 of 11. From incredible shooting splits. And obviously she's chucking today. She's letting it fly today, 11.5. Clea Copper has 12.5. Lexi Hull hasn't shot more than 7 shots in a game. But like what it allowed was it allowed Azare to get going. It allowed Shakir Austin to get hers, while Chelsea Gray was still not the primary offense, the offense. And now you're looking at the team with Clea Copper, and they're just much worse. And it is kind of crazy that
the second half outcome remains uncertain, though viewing enthusiasm has diminished. Acknowledging fairness, Ogunbowale did achieve exceptional shooting percentages. The 3-on-3 format presents a unique dynamic where any opponent shooting 60% from the field and beyond the arc can secure victory. Against such efficiency levels, defeating literally any league opponent becomes possible. The improbability of losing to various teams disappears under these circumstances.
Worse. They're just much worse, and it is kind of crazy that it just shows, even at this level of basketball, basketball's a team sport. And your turn, my turn very rarely works. It very rarely works. And the Rose have turned into a your turn, my turn team. Clea Copper, if you guys don't remember as well, like Clea Copper getting injured last year was one of the main catalysts for the Rose winning. Like, Clea Copper didn't play. They went on this mad win streak after Copper got injured.
Particularly when Ogunbowale experiences, for lack of better description, magnetized ball conditions similar to all-star break performances.